Students, we are in chapter 3, that is your introduction to database management system. So by today we are going to discuss some possible question and answer that are from pages 57 to 61. So first we are going to see the definition that is in page number 57. So first it is a 2-mark question for you. What is a DBMS or define DBMS? So the DBMS can be defined as is system software for creating and managing databases. So DBMS is a system software. So the DBMS provides users and programmers with a systematic way. Systematic means, what do you mean? A step-by-step procedure that you have to follow. A systematic way to create, retrieve, update and manage data. What do you mean by create? So you are going to have a new one, that is your create. Retrieve, you are going to get the details that are already available. Update, if you are going to have any corrections or any changes in the records that you people can do, that is your update. And manage data. What do you mean by manage? You are going to control, or what else? If a user is going to get the data, some checking must be done, no? So that overall management is done by this DBMS. So I repeat, so DBMS is a system software for creating and managing databases. The DBMS provides users and programmers with a systematic way to create, retrieve, update and manage data. So this is your definition for DBMS. Yes, next we can see, so these points will be coming under evolution of DBMS. Okay, so the first method is your punched card. Don't forget, in the evolution of DBMS, the first method is your punched card, the second one it's your file system, and third only you will be having the DBMS. Okay, so the first one it's your punched card. So the next it's your file system. So in the file system, you people are having how many types of access methods? You will be having 3 types of access methods. The first one, it is your indexed, random, and the next one it is your sequential. Access methods means, so the details will be stored in your files. From that you people are going to get the or take the needed information, that is your access. So it can be done in 3 ways. The first one, it is your indexed, random, and the next one it is your sequential. Yes, next we are going to see the limitations of file system. That is your 2-mark question. Okay, so it is your limitations of file system. So this limitation only lead to the next concept. It is your database management system. So the first limitation is data duplication. For example, people, what do you mean by data duplication? So same data will be repeated for you. Okay, repeated for you. So see here, same data is used by multiple resources. Multiple resources means multiple persons. Why they need to use the same data? For some processing. So for the purpose of processing, same data is used. So thus it is creating multiple copies of same data. Multiple copies of same data are produced, and thus it brings wasting the spaces, wasting the available spaces. So that is your first limitation. The second one, it is your high maintenance. It's your high maintenance. Since access control and verifying data need high maintenance costs. And the third one, it is your security. The third one, it is your security. This file system provide less security to the data that you have submitted, that you have allocated, that you have stored. So these 3 are the main limitations of file system. First one, it is your data duplication, high maintenance, and the next one, it is your security. And next we are going to see the DBMS concept. So from the evolution of DBMS, the first one, it is your punched card. Next one, it is your file system. So in the file system, 3 access methods you are having. And next, what are the limitations of file system? So this limitation of the file system lead to the concepts of DBMS, lead to the concept of DBMS. So in the DBMS concepts, you are having 2 concepts. You are having two main concepts. The first one, it is your acid property. We will be discussing by next. Then the next one, it is your concurrency control and locking. What do you mean by concurrency? At the same time, many are going to take that details. Okay, wow? So that is to be controlled, and locking, that is already taken. Detail should not be taken by the other without the prior permission. That is your locking. So go on with this one. It is the DBMS mechanism used for data sharing. When the same data is shared by multiple users, proper access control is needed. So when the same data, many users are going to take that one, proper control is needed. Privilege means prior permission. Okay, ma'am. Permission of changing the application data item is controlled through locking. Locking means it will be locked. Without the prior means already you must get the permission. Okay, ma'am. Without the permission, you people will not be able to use that one. So that is your concurrency control and locking. So this question is a 3-mark question for you. Write about DBMS concepts. Under that you have to write concurrency control, locking, and the next one, it is your acid properties. Next one, it is your acid property. So acid property here, A stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and the next one, it is your durability. Okay, wow? So atomicity is nothing but, yes, database for the user performing the update operation. So this update operation is called transaction. Update operation is called transaction. Where either it commits, that is successful updation must be there, or successful abort must be there. So that is your atomicity. Under atomicity, the main point needed, that is here, the transaction, it either commits, or that is successfully updating, or aborts. Okay, wow? So the next, it is your consistency. So these points will be coming under atomicity. The next one, it is your consistency, that the changes in the data value to be constant at any given instant. So what else changes you people are going to make, that will be constant. It will not affect the main database. What else changes you people are making in the data, it will not affect the main database. That is your consistency. Helps in the successful. Next, you people are having the isolation. You are having the isolation property. Why? When it is needed during concurrent transaction. Concurrent means at a single time many users are going to use that one. So that is your concurrent transaction. So see here, when multiple users do the transaction by accessing the same object at the same time, the transaction is known as concurrent transaction. Okay, wow? And next, you people are having the next one, it is your durability. Durability means the system must be able to be steady at any time. It must be able to recover by themselves at the time of failure. The system must be able to recover by themselves at the time of failure. Okay, wow? So these you people have to write under DBMS concepts. It's an important 3-mark question. Under that you have to write acid properties, and the next one, it is your concurrency control and locking. So clear with this one. This is a 3-mark question. Yes, next we are going to see, this is a 2-mark question. That is your defined data model and its types. Defined data model and its types. Yes, the definition for data model is the database technology came into existence in terms of model. That is, your technology must be implemented so that everyone will be able to know that idea, no, in terms of some models. What models are? Relational model, and the next one, it is your object relational behavior. So by this only our data model is implemented. By that one, everyone is able to see what is database. So the types are, the first one, it is your hierarchical database model, network model, relational model, and the next one, it is your object oriented database model. So this is your 2-mark question. The question is define data model and its types. If it is asked, you have to write these points. Okay, wow? So clear? Yes, next we are going to see the 5-mark question, that is write about or explain DBMS database model. So under that, yes, this is your definition or introduction point. You people have to write the first 2 lines, then the types are like that. You people introduce, and then you have to continue with the first one. First one is hierarchical. Then yes, the first one, it is your hierarchical database model. Yes. Yes, hierarchical, have the heading as hierarchical database model, then write this point, that is IBMS. First DBMS was IMS, that is your information management system. Okay, va? So here the records are stored in which relationship? Parent child relationship, like a tree structure. Okay, va? Next you have to go on with the next you people have the heading as advantages, that is your less redundant data integrity, and the next one it is your security. Okay, but redundant means the data will not be repeated for you. The next one it is your security. Next you will be having some limitations. No, the limitations are complex to implement. It is difficult to implement and difficult in handling to many. Yes, so you have to write the advantages and the limitations. And next only you have to go on with this diagram. Next you have to go on with a diagram. Since it is a 5-mark question, for each and every database model you have to write the introduction, next the advantages and the limitation, next you must draw this example diagram. Okay, va? So see this one, already I have explained it for you. So this is your hierarchical database model example. Okay, va? Yes, next one it is your network model. Next one it is your network model. Network means everything will be interconnected. Everything will be interconnected. So the first network model was IDS, that is your integrated data store. It was developed at Honeywell. So what is the difference between the first model and this model is, in this case each member can have more than one owner. So in the previous it is like a tree. So main item will be there, then from that you will be having the root, like you will be having, from that you will be having many branches and sub branches in the case of hierarchical model. But in the case of network model, here there is a chance to have more than one owner. So here many to many relationships are handled in better way. So 3 database components. Here you are having 3 database components, that is your network schema, sub schema, and the next one it is your language. So don't forget, continuously you will be having a full mark. So there is a possibility to ask, write the 3 database components that is available in network model. It will be a 2-mark question for you. So write 3 database components that are in network model, means you have to write the network schema, sub schema, and the language. Okay, wow. So here you have to write along with the explanation. The first one is your network schema. Schema is nothing but it going to define the structure of the database. The next one it is your sub schema. Sub schema means control on views of the database for the user. Views means, yes, how many are going to view the database. Database means what else the data that you people have stored. Okay, wow. The next one it is your language. That is the language that is used for accessing means getting the details from the database. Okay, wow. So it is your extra 2-mark question. So the question will be, how the question will be, so write the 3 database components that are available in that are used in network model. So in that you have to write network schema, sub schema, and the next one it is your language. So along with the explanation you people have to write down. So these points you have to write under. Next you will be having the, yes, this is your example diagram, and don't forget, for each and every model you will be having the advantages, and the next one it is your limitation. So advantages can handle more relationship types. The next one, easy data access, and the next one it is your data integrity, and the next one it is your independence. So these you will be having under advantage. Next you will be having under limitation, that is difficult in design and maintenance. Why you are having a difficult in design and maintenance? Since it is a network. Okay, wow. Another point is it can have more than one owner. So it is somewhat difficult to go on with maintenance, for which one you are having the owner, like that to think over. Yes, it is a difficult. Okay, for this one you have to draw this diagram. So see here, so it is a simple case just for ABC College Department A and College Library for a single student. If you are going to proceed with the many details, so drawing this one it will be a complicated. So this is your main disadvantage that is available under network model. And next you people are going to have the next one, it is your relational model. So it is individually, it can be asked for 3-mark question. So write about relational model, like that means you have to go on with this one. Otherwise it is a continuous 5-mark question. So relational model, Oracle and DB2 are few commercial relational models, and then this model is defined with two terminologies, that is your instance and schema. That is your instance and schema. So instance is nothing but a table consisting of rows and columns. Schema, already you people know, it specify the structure. In that structure, what you people will be having? It would is including the name and type of each column. So that you will be having under schema. So the next is a table consists of columns and row. So table can be called by the name relation, and column can be called by the name attributes, and row can be called by the name tuples. Okay, va? So in the continuously, if you are going to have a relation, means relation is nothing but it is a table. So these points you have to write under relational model, and next this is your diagram that you have to draw. This is your figure for example figure for relational database model. Okay, va? And next it is your object oriented database model. So in this model it is mainly based upon the objects that are available. So first point you have to write is incorporates the combination of object oriented programming concepts and database technology. That is, it is going to have the combination of two concepts, that is your OOPS concept, and the next one it is your database technology concept. The first one, that is your OOPS concept, and the next one it is your the next point is this model is the basics for relational model. This is the basic for relational model. So here by the name itself, this model is going to use objects. Okay, why it is going to use objects? The objects are small and reusable software. So the next one, it efficiently manage large number of different data types. Many data types can be used or managed at a same place. Okay, but complex behaviors are handled very efficiently. So these are the points that you have to write under object oriented programming, that is the object oriented database model. So this is the case. Here it is having many data type. No, it is your character, string. So this is your number. Okay, ma? Here you will be having characters, that is your string, and here it is your number. So under address you are going to have these. Okay, wow. Many are interrelated together, but here managing and doing everything is easy in the case of object oriented database model. So this is your 5-mark question. Under database model means you have to write the write the introduction, then write the types that are available and explain each and every database model with the introduction, next advantages, limitation. Then you have to draw the diagram. So clear with this question? Yes, next we can move on to the next one. Yes, what's the expansion for DBMS? Yes, it is your database management system. Next, what is your RDBMS? Relational database management system. Yes, next concept we are going to enter is RDBMS, that is your relational database management system. This is your 2-mark question. So write the features of RDBMS means you have to write this one. The first one, it is your high availability. Next one, it is your high performance. Next one, it is your robust transactions and support. Next one, it is your ease of management, and next one, it is your less cost. Okay, high availability means at any time you people can do the transaction or everything. High performance, what else complex task is provided to it, everything can be done in a very faster way. So management is easy. What else transaction your people are going to do is very easy, and if there is any possibility for any support, that also is provided. Okay, and maintenance cost, doing everything and programming, coding, everything is of less cost in the case of RDBMS. So these are the features of RDBMS. So it is your 2-mark question. Yes, next you people are going to have the next one. It is your definition for table. So the question is, define table, or what is a table? So what is a table? Table is nothing but it is a collection of rows and column. Okay, table is defined as the collection of data organized in terms of rows and columns. Okay, yes, table is the simple representation of relations. So already I told you, table is also called by the name relations. So this is an example. So if this question is asked for 2 mark, you must write the definition and then you must write this example also. So inside you people can give any value that is according to your wish. Okay, but you must have the table example. So clear with this example? Yes, next we can have the next one. Yes, it is your definition for column. So under table itself, I told you. So table is nothing but it is a combination or collection of rows and columns. Okay, wow. So here column, it consists of table consists of several rows and columns. Tables can be divided into smaller parts, that is in terms of column. So the column is called known as attributes. The column is known as attribute. So the attribute is defined in a table to hold values of same type. This is known as your attribute domain. So here each and every column in the table will be having same data type, same type only. That is known as attribute domain. See this example. Here the data type is of integer. Here the data type is of integer. Under salary also it is integer. Under name is also it is characters. ID is also integer. So everything is of same data type. Here also under same data. Here they are having it is integer data type. Here everything is age. Here they didn't write any salary amount. Okay, wow. Salary amount will be available in the salary column. So this is your attribute domain. This is your attribute domain. So these you have to write under column. Yes, next you people are going to have the row. Row is a single entry in a table is called as row or record or tuple. So row is going to have different names. So if the question is asked us write about record, means you have to write the same points only. Write about tuple or define tuple means you have to write the same points that you are having under row. Okay, ma'am. So this is also a 2-mark question for you. Set of related datas are represented in a row or tuple. Set of related datas are represented in a row or tuple. So this single line is a row for you. This single line is a row or record or tuple for you. So the horizontal entity in a table is known as row. This horizontal entity is your row. So this vertical entry is yes, it is your column. Horizontal is row and vertical is column. So by now we have discussed table, column and row. So table is nothing but it is a collection of row and column. Column means vertical. Record means horizontal. In a column you will be having another one name, that is your attribute. It is also next you will be having the next definition, that is your attribute domain. Next it is your row. Row is also called by the name record or tuple. So clear? So 3 entries we have finished. Next we are going to have the next one. It is your primary key. Key is nothing but by using that key you people are going to open something. Okay, wow. So primary key means it is the most important thing that you will be having. So the primary key is chosen only from the already available keys only. That is, key is nothing but a value or a data. So here you are having no. Yes, ID, name, age, like salary you are having here no. So if you are going to select this ID means by using this ID you are going to identify the remaining. So here ID is 1. So 1 means if you are calling the ID number 1, so which person details will be there? Alex detail will be there for you. So that is your primary key. Okay, ma'am. Yes. Primary key is a candidate key that is chosen to perform the identification task. Just by using that one, you are going to identify. Identify is called primary key. So every tuple must have a unique value. Tuple means each and every row, okay, record. So that will be having a unique value for its primary key. See here. So ID here 1 you are having. Next you will be having 2, 3, 4, 5. Unique means everything will be different. Okay, wow. அந்த ஒரு ரோக்கு அது கரெக்டாக செட் ஆகும். மிச்சபடி எல்லாத்துக்கும் இப்படி தான் இருக்கும். ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் தனித்தனியாக வரும். ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் பை யூஸிங் த ஐடி நம்பர், இஃப் ஐ எம் கோயிங் டு கால் த ஐடி 2, which record will be displayed for me? Yes, Divya details will be available for me. If I am going to use the ID 3, Tulasi details will be available for me. Okay, wow. Yes, that is the concept point that you will be having under primary key. A primary key which is a combination of more than one attribute is called composite primary key. Composite is nothing but many joined together is going to form a composite for you. Okay, ba? A primary key which is a combination of more than one attribute. Attribute na enadhu? Column. Okay, ba? Is known as your composite primary key. Yes, the next one, it is your foreign key. Foreign key means the key that is available in the next table. Okay, wow. So why you need a foreign key? Just to have the relationship between the relationship between the two tables. See here, that has been exported from one relation into another to represent the extension of a relationship between them. Just to have the relationship between them, you people are having the foreign key. Okay, wow. Foreign key values do not have to be unique. Foreign keys can also be null, it can also be null. Composite foreign key cannot have some attributes null and others non-null. So composite, if there is a possible for composite foreign key, means in that case one key will be null, another will be non-null. Non-null means it will be having some values. So these are you will be having under foreign keys. This is your 3-mark question. Foreign key, primary key are 3-mark questions for you. And next you people are going to see the next one. It is your super key. An attribute or group of attribute which is sufficient to distinguish. Distinguish means identify every tuple in the relation from every other one is known as your super key. So it is distinguish. அப்படின்னா இந்த ரெண்டையும் தனியா நம்மளுக்கு ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி காட்டுறது தான் என்னது? இட் இஸ் யுவர் சூப்பர் கீ. எவ்ரி சூப்பர் கீ இஸ் கால்ட் அ கேண்டிடேட் கீ. டோன்ட் ஃபர்கெட். All the keys that are available in your table is your candidate key. From that only you people are going to select the super key, primary key. So that only given here. Okay, wow. A candidate key is selected from the set of super key. Candidate key is also known as minimal super keys. Candidate key is also known as minimal super key. So clear with this super key? It is your 3-mark question. Yes, next we can have the next one. It is your composite key. Composite key, by the name itself you people can tell many keys are combining together. Instead of telling many keys, many attributes that are combined together. A key with more than one attribute to identify. Why these attributes are combined together? Just to identify one row. Many attributes in a table are combined together. So that is called as composite key. So clear with this one? So just now the composite key is a 2-mark question for you. Okay, wow. So just now we have finished some 2-mark, that is your defined table, row, column are 2-mark question for you. Next we have discussed primary key. The next one it is your super key. Next one it is your primary key, super key. Yes, foreign key. So these are your 3-mark question, and by now we finished the composite key. So by today's session we have discussed for few pages question answer. The first DBMS definition, the next limitations of file system, it is an important 2-mark question, and next we finish the DBMS basic concepts. Okay, what 2 concepts you will be having? What are they? First one, it is your acid property. Acid property alone is a 2-mark question for you, and as a whole DBMS concepts is a 3-mark question. For 3-mark question you have to write the concurrency control and locking. Okay, ma'am. And next we finished what is defined data model and its type. We got to write the definition for data model and the 4 types that are available. And the next we finished database. Yes, database models. It is your important 5-mark question. For each and everything, first you write down the introduction, next write the 4 types. Then have the side heading as first one, hierarchical database model, and write the points, that is IMS. It was the first DBMS introduced by Microsoft. Like that you people write on by IBM, sorry. Like that you people write on. Then you people have to go on with the limitations, advantages. Next you have to draw the diagram. So the next one, it is your network model, and for that also introduction, limitation, advantages. The next you have to draw the example diagram. The third, it is your relational model. Separately it can also be asked for 3-mark question, otherwise it will be in your 5-mark question. Relation model. Next you will be having your last model, it is your object oriented model. For each and every model you must draw the example diagram. Okay, wow. Next we finished the definitions. What else definitions we finished? Yes, that is your 3-mark is primary key, super key. The next one, it is your foreign key. So these are your 3-mark, and the next one we finished 2-mark is, that is your table. Yes, table, row, column. Along with the example, you must write. And finally, we finish the composites key. So clear with the topics that we have discussed by today? Yes, remaining we can continue in the next class. Yes, thank you students.